is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, there he is, the man, the myth, the legend. That is Marcel Louis-Jacques. How you doing, baby? You doing all right? Enjoying
good,
the West Coast?
Oh, yeah, as you can see, enjoying a little bit of change of scenery from my last couple of hits. I was over here yelling, tap me in, get me into this argument, get me into this debate, because I'm taking the 90s Bills.
You're too young.
No.
Sorry, I got to use the old man card. I know you were in Buffalo.
The amount of research and, what I had to do to understand those 90s teams, I was alive for half of it. But either way, I'm taking them because they had Thurman Thomas. Like, that's the piece that these Bills right now are begging and pleading. Please, can we get somebody like this? They had Thurman Thomas. They had Bruce Smith.
No, but Kelly is better.
A real difference maker. That's
Kelly
where
is
you're
better
wrong.
than Josh Allen.
That's
Kelly
where
is
you're
better
wrong.
than Josh Allen.
Jim Kelly is more accomplished than Josh Allen. Jim Kelly is not a better player than Josh Allen. I think Jim Kelly would tell you that. I might call him and ask him, and so we can maybe get him on here to tell you Josh Allen is a more dynamic quarterback than Jim Kelly.
Dynamic because he can run. I don't care about that, dude. I care about who's the better with the
Bigger
arms. Who's the no? Who's the better with the arm? Period. It's called accuracy, my man. This guy never has any issues with accuracy. Did not have it at the University of Miami when I watched him right here in my backyard. Did not have it with the Houston Gamblers, and never had it with the Buffalo Bills. He didn't have to learn to be a quarterback. He was a quarterback. So that makes him alone already superior to Josh Allen, who had to learn how to throw the ball, and he still can't throw it straight every time. This year he had his moments where he had erratic moments. If a QB is still erratic, he can't be compared to Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly was never erratic.
I don't think he's any more erratic than the average quarterback. I think Josh Allen has a live arm. Josh Allen had to learn because he had no one to coach him at Reed College and no one to really coach him up at Wyoming. The second he got in the system with some stability, with some playmakers around him, and coaches that, with all due respect to his past, really understood what they were, how to develop a QB. It was almost overnight, man. A change in mechanics, and he's the best in the league. But I don't know, man. Josh Allen on those Bills teams, maybe they win a Super Bowl. I don't know. I don't want to do that.
Do you know what Jim Kelly
down my door?
Do you know Jim Kelly, how he was recruited at Penn State?
I do not, but he's from up there.
Linebacker.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I've met Jim Kelly. He's
that's
obviously
pretty
older now.
Joe Paterno, the protector of predators, thought that he was a linebacker, not a quarterback. That's the kind of athlete he thought Jim Kelly was back in his day.
Yeah, a lot of quarterbacks are big, though, man. Like, the average size for this position is like 6'2", 230. That's and in high school, everybody can run. All these D1 quarterbacks look like linebackers. Josh Allen actually is bigger than these guys tackling him. Josh Allen's like 6'5", 260.
Oh no, he's a redwood tree. Yeah.
And I think he runs a legit 4.6.
No. As an athlete, I give it to you. Dynamics that you said, yeah. But as a pure passer, not even close.
Like Jim Kelly on this team. Jim Kelly on this Bills team probably gets no further than they do right now. Josh Allen on those Bills teams, when those offenses, when that K-gun, well, I guess it might be an A-gun. It wasn't even called the K-gun because of Jim Kelly, honestly.
No, different ball game then. They break Josh Allen in half in those games.
No.
No
way.
Oh, yeah. They play through the whistle in those days. No.
Big is always big.
You don't want to be a running quarterback in those days. You don't want to be a running quarterback in those days.
Like,
no. You don't want to do that.
260 in 2020 is still 260 in 1990.
Yeah,
like,
well,
I've seen Jim Kelly. I know Jim Kelly. I know he's I'm not disparaging Jim Kelly at all. I'm just saying, I think if you even ask Bills fans who have been around for both eras, I think Josh Allen is the better quarterback. Like, when it's all said and done, I think we're going to say Josh Allen's the better quarterback. But Jim Kelly is clearly more accomplished. He won 4 AFC championships. That's, I'm not taking anything away from him, but man, Josh Allen is different.
It's not only that, dude. He took to a Peach Bowl when like was nothing. It was like the biggest thing in town. This is way before you were even a glimmer in anybody's eye back then, because I'm really old. But Jim Kelly is a guy that then goes to the USFL and then like lit up the world on fire, and then goes to the Bills, and then you think about it, if he doesn't have the USFL and he goes to the NFL earlier, you wonder how much more his stats grow because of all of that, because he was a monster in the USFL also. So that's why I'm just telling you, this is a guy that was a leader, like right from the get. Like in Wyoming, this kid couldn't hit the side of a barn, and meanwhile, here's Jim Kelly leading a University of Miami football program that was a nothing program at that time to a Peach Bowl, which was enormous in those days.
Hey man, people develop at different speeds. There's somewhere out there, or let's look at Antonio Gates, Jimmy Graham, guys that didn't even play college football. They weren't doing it forever, and they come in and dominate the NFL at their positions. They're two of the best tight ends of all time. I can't look at, I'm sure Mike Gesicki started his tight end career before Antonio Gates did, but I'm not going to call Gesicki better than Gates. It doesn't matter when you start, it's how you finish. And I think right now Josh Allen is on pace to finish as a better quarterback than Jim Kelly. And personally, I would take him right now over Jim Kelly in his prime.
So you take Diggs over Reed?
Push.
Okay.
I think Diggs and Reed, that's the push. I'm taking overall team because of Thurman and because of Bruce Smith. It's not just Bruce Smith. That team had some dudes on it. The team still had
Darryl Talley, bro.
Darryl Talley, still had Cornelius Bennett. Still had the name is escaping me right now. I just wrote about him last year. Won Defensive Player of the Year with Bennett and Bruce Smith on roster next to him. Had something like 20 sacks that season. But they had some nasty dudes on that team.
Yeah, no, I know. We lived it. We lived it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm not telling y'all anything you don't
see.
know.
You and I agree. You and I agree that Thurman's better than theirs. We disagree. I got Kelly over Allen, and we definitely disagree. I got Reed over Diggs also, because Reed was super durable from day one, whereas I've watched Diggs have his injury issues too, from his Minnesota days to Buffalo, and so he's a hell of a route runner. Don't get me wrong, but Reed was a monster, bro. God. That guy still gives me nightmares. Him and Thurman Thomas, especially Thurman. There's nothing like Thurman.
Fun debate though, man. Hopefully the Dolphins can get to a point where we start comparing them to some of these great teams of the past, man. Because I know people are on here probably like, all right, let's get to enough of the Bills, enough of these memories, enough of this PTSD. But those are two truly special teams, man. Those teams of the '90s, and then the run that they're on right now.
No doubt. All right, so let's get into a little Dolphins. Josh Boyer, he kind of came out and dropped the hammer yesterday. So for all the stuff that was talked about with Alexander, he kind of squashed that and said, no, I made all the calls here. So your thoughts on squashing what was maybe a controversy? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I necessarily would expect him to come out and say, yeah, I wasn't calling plays during our best stretch of the season. But, I don't see Josh Boyer as – I see him as a pretty straight shooter over the year that I've worked with him. I think that he did describe it as, and we hear this word a lot when it comes to play calling. He did describe it as a collaborative process. And so I have no doubt in my mind that Flores was, of course, involved in that collaboration. Gerald Alexander, I'm sure, was involved in that collaboration. But it felt like a lot of what changed. And, I asked him straight up, what was the difference then between what switch flipped between week 7 and weeks 8 and on? And he just says, it's better matchups, better execution, better game planning. But I think they just kind of got back to what they did last season with a lot of that zero blitz, not just like sending the house every time, but even showing zero blitz at times and confusing opposing offenses at the line of scrimmage and lining their DBs up on the line. Like, I don't know if that's something they're doing a whole lot of during the first half of the season. And I can remember a quote. I'm going to paraphrase it a bit, but Josh Boyer essentially said, like, you can't just roll the same game plan out week after week and expect teams not to adjust. So I think the Dolphins might have gotten their heads a little bit and expected the rest of the league to have made adjustments to what made them so successful in 2020, that they made their own premature adjustment instead of saying, prove to us that you can beat this. And I think what we saw over that second half of the season is to get them back to their bread and butter and saying, prove to us that you can beat that. And nobody did except the Titans.
So, and how do you look at that whole Gerald Alexander controversy with the wife tweeting out stuff and all that? So what was going on there?
Look, I think the easiest thing to do here, rather than bring people's families into it, even though she did voluntarily offer her perspective, the easiest thing to do here is wait it out. Just wait it out, man. In about, what is it? It's about to be March. In about 6 months, we're going to be able to tell whose defense that really was. In about 6-7 months, we're going to be able to see.
A little more than that, I think, right? Because it's
I said about
March. 6 months is does the season even start in 6 months?
We got the end of the preseason, so we'll start to see. We'll see sprinkles. We'll see sprinkles of it. 6-7 months.
I think 8 months. Let's get into November, so we have like 2 months.
Semantics here.
Then we kind of get to see if he's really, the difference maker on all of that. Which, in the end, his best friend will be the guys on the other side of the ball, because if they're able to run the ball and they're able to control possession and all those kind of things, they're going to put his defense in a much better position. Let's be honest.
That's the point. And then and that's where I'm looking forward to seeing the change with this team, is the aggression on offense and the tone setting on offense. It felt like Miami tried to set the tone on defense last year, and then we're just reacting on the other side of the ball. They're just taking what the defense gives you. And, I say, to hell with that. Go take what you want. Go get what you want. Go establish yourself. Like, I hate seeing and I hate hearing that phrase, that we're just taking what the defense gives you. The defense ain't going to give you anything. Like, defenses aren't giving you things. You have to go take it to an extent. So that's where I'm expecting to see a change in Miami's team in 2022. But yeah, on defense, the hope is to bring a lot more of the same energy that we saw in the second half of last season. I asked Josh yesterday, the slow starts to the year have kind of plagued this team over the past 2 seasons. How do you combat that? And he starts right off saying we need to be in excellent shape to begin the season. We need to make sure everybody is about on the same page as they could possibly be. They need to make sure that they are extraordinarily prepared. And, I don't know if those were suggestions that they weren't any of those things in previous years, but it does sound like they're at least aware that it's a problem moving forward, or that it's been a problem and are where they need to fix it moving forward.
Marcel, so let's phrase it here, how do they get the edge this offseason so they can get over the hump on offense?
I think it starts on that offensive line. And I'm going to say, I think I've said it before. I want to reiterate it again. We're not going to see, and I don't expect to see, wholesale change along the entire line. 4 of those 5 starters were taken with top 100 picks. But clearly there is some potential in there. Austin Jackson was much improved as a guard. Liam Eichenberg was just taken in the second round last year. He's not going anywhere unless he does something crazy off the field. Dieter was stable enough, and Rob Hunt was their best offensive lineman last year. So I would expect all 4 guys to return to last season's role in one capacity or another, and at least be given the opportunity to develop under a staff that has proven, has a proven track record of developing offensive linemen, Frank Smith and Matt Applebaum. It's that other tackle spot that I think they can go a number of directions in. Do you want to go, throw a bag at Trent Brown and believe and trust that this time when he leaves New England that he will actually be, engaged and committed to the team? Do you try to go after a guy like Teron Armstead, who had some injury concerns last year? Do you want to go after a Cam Robinson or even a Nate Solder even. Do you want to go after a Brandon Scherf and maybe move either move Rob Hunt to tackle or Austin Jackson back to tackle? Like, what do you want to do? There's a lot of directions that they can go in, but I do think that we see. I really think it's more likely we see one new starter next season than, let's say, 3.
All right, good stuff there. Remember, you can follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ. Right now, when you see all the Tua videos going on and working out, I just find it funny how everybody puts out workout videos. I see it all the time with all kinds of players. And somehow or another, this is the only guy that a workout video becomes a negative thing. I don't know if you see it on Twitter too, but it's kind of odd how this young man has a I don't know, it's like a negative train that follows him at times. Why?
It's kind of hard to explain. I think a lot of people get annoyed by hype, and a lot of people get frustrated by hype. And Tua had a ton of it coming into his NFL career. Obviously,
not created by him at all. He was not. At no point was he Johnny Manziel, who created his own hype. You know what I'm saying?
Not really. I'm not blaming him at all. I'm not blaming him at all. I'm just that it is what it is.
While you're saying it, I just want to highlight it that what you're saying that like he didn't hype, the hype. Well, he didn't do it. Unlike Manziel, who in his workout for the NFL wore pads, cranked up some music, wore a helmet, all that. You know what I'm saying? It's like he did it on his own. You know what I mean? This kid has been quiet, unassuming into himself. It's everybody else that's either hyped or hated. One of the two.
Like I said, it's not always fair. It doesn't always make sense, but I'm trying to make sense of it. And, obviously his numbers, his productivity has not matched the other guys in that draft class. Specifically, obviously, Herbert and Burrow. So I don't know. People just kind of love to pile on. People love something to hate, if that makes sense. Especially after, Burrow comes out and, someone's asking him, like, how did you return from your ACL? How'd you put the work in? And he comes out and says, don't just do your workout. You don't have to put everything on Instagram. Don't post it on social. So, but it is what it is, man. Like, let these guys build their brand. Who cares if it's on social media or not? I think it would maybe go a little further if he practices or shows some wet ball drills or shows himself practicing in some cold weather. Go up to go way north, go up in Canada. You know what I mean? Like go to Nova Scotia or something and start throwing footballs. That's what I want to see.
Why does he go practice on that iceberg that's about to slip off? That's bigger than the size of Florida into the ocean. That'll be good right there too.
Either way, that's something that he said that he needs to work on this season. He said that he's going to have to find cold weather situations to simulate things like the games like that Tennessee matchup in what is it, week 17. These 18 weeks are still screwing with me, man. 2 months later, but those are really the videos that maybe people will want to see. But even then, like, there's no amount of workout video that's gonna have people unanimously praising you. You know what I mean? Like, not when you turn in a season like you turned in last year, which was, efficient, albeit unspectacular. You know what I mean? Like, it's especially when that's what's fresh in people's minds. The only thing that's going to start turning the narrative is playing better on the field. It's playing better in the real game. Nobody cares what you're doing in a workout video. I'm not hating. I'm not saying, like, don't post them. Like, we don't want to see it. But that's just the facts. It's like nobody is really – there's no amount of working out. Like, what do you want him to do? Like, if somebody shows him throwing the ball 75 yards, there's always going to be people in there that say, do it with a live pass rush. Okay, now let's see you actually hit a target from that distance. So they're always going to want something more. The only thing that's going to shut people up is balling out on Sunday.
Oh, no, there's no doubt about it. But just to me, I don't see the reaction from other workout videos like he gets. That's the only thing. It's different because workout videos are posted all the time with all kinds of players doing all kinds of either workouts or trick shots or funky moves or hopping, like those dudes that hop like 6 feet on top of boxes, which like, dude, are you half kangaroo or what? Like, those people are spread like the dude that like they jump out of pools and stuff. I mean, they're always posting all kinds of videos. It's just I never see out of all those kind of videos, I never see the negative reaction that this kid gets, and it's very Tebow like. It's interesting how it's very polarizing. Like we've had all kinds of polarizations, whether it's Cap, whether it's Tebow, whether it's now Tua. Different people are different types of polarizing. You know what I mean? And he is one of those. And it could be a good thing
Yeah,
or a bad thing, or a twisted thing, like Antonio Brown can be at times. But it's just one of those things, man. He is one of those polarizing figures in sports. It's crazy.
yeah. Again, it's nothing that he brings on himself off the
Right.
field, at least. Like he's pretty unassuming off the field. It's just that on-field product. That's what's making him polarizing. Like we got to call it what it is. Like this is, as a good friend of mine said, he's shown flashes of competence, not necessarily flashes of brilliance throughout his career. And, that's why, speaking of, we were obviously talking about Josh Allen earlier, and people keep asking me, what was the difference? Like, what was the difference between second year Josh and second year Tua? Josh had flashes of brilliance in that second year. It was not very good from a statistical standpoint, but as somebody who watched the Bills play 17 games that season and watched Josh Allen play 17 games, there were moments throughout that season where you said, oh, damn. Okay, no,
Right.
this guy might be able – this guy can play. This guy can play. If he puts his 4 quarters, he was clutch. If he puts that together over the course of 4 quarters, over the course of an entire game, then I thought he was going to be special, and that's what we saw in doing 2020. With Tua, we haven't seen that same number of bang plays. Like he's got he gets the occasional tight window throw, and sometimes you see it and you're like, wow, that was a great placement. But there's just that it factor, I think, is what we're still waiting to see from him. And maybe we do this year, now that he's in supposedly a fully supportive environment and he's got a team that is 100% committing to him, not waffling on whether or not who closes the game, Tua or Fitz, and not telling him, hey, we're thinking about trading for Deshaun Watson, but go ahead and play free anyways. I mean, like it's a situation where it's finally like, we want you. You are the guy this year. Go lead us and go do something. Go lead us to something. Go figure it. Go. We're gonna go as far as you take us. And maybe that's when we see the light bulb turn on for Tua. But so far.
So let me ask you this:
why people are hating on him. It's because he's been just okay in the NFL. He's been okay.
Okay, so let me ask you this. We'll wrap it up with this. Marcel Louis-Jacques joining us here on our Edge Energy Drink, Miami Dolphins Insider Report. If McDaniel and company are able to figure things out and produce a running game and an offensive line, do you see Tua being a franchise quarterback? Being a guy that you can win games, go deep in the playoffs, and do your thing. As long as the team is doing their job, he can do his job.
Yeah.
Do you see it that way, or do you think that even if they get things right, he's still going to be a big question mark in your eyes?
No, I think he's got he's got potential to be, we can call it like a top 12 quarterback in the league, give or take. I don't know if he's, you see what the top 5 looks like. I don't know if that's necessarily his ceiling or not. I can say that from my perspective, that's not the ceiling that I've seen over the past 2 years. But he's efficient enough, and he's smart enough, and he's athletic enough that he can be a top 12 quarterback. He's not like one of those guys that, at his best, he's not one of those guys that you're thinking about, okay, is this year they replace him? This is their weekly. No, I think you get that run game. You fix that O-line, you get them some playmakers as well, and we're seeing a completely different quarterback, completely different offense. And I like what McDaniel said in his introductory press conference, that he basically, to paraphrase it, So Tua's just a member of this team. Like, there are very few quarterbacks in the league that are winning games all by themselves. You know, and when I say very few, I mean like 3, maybe 4 that can go win games by themselves. And so, like, the fact that Tua is not one of those guys is not something to be offended by. It's not something to be startled or worried about. It's just,
Hey, listen, like
game.
I just told Poupart a little bit ago, there's no Super Bowl winners that was carried by a quarterback with a shitty team. Doesn't happen.
So
Doesn't happen.
No, that's a big reason why McDaniel was hired, to fix that offense and you know, manufacture some production where maybe the talent isn't quite there yet. And I think that's what we're going to see. We're going to see a lot more of those manufactured plays this year as they start to accumulate talent and, you know, work their system in and guys get used and acclimated to it. We might see a few more gimmicky plays. We might see a few more short passes and catch and run and blah, blah, blah. And then as Tua gets comfortable in the offense, then I think they'll start to let it rip a little bit. But, you know, we'll see. Again, it is the end of February right now. We haven't even been to OTAs yet. That's when really we'll get a better idea of where Tua is at this stage of his career.
Follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ. And, of course, you can catch him here twice a week with our Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins Insider Report. Continue to enjoy the West Coast, young man. We will catch you next week, my friend.
Oh, no, I'm back home now. I'm back home.
Oh, you are? You're already back? Okay.
Enjoying that good,
okay.
That 70.
I didn't even realize it. So that's here, not out there. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't even sure.
We're facing due west of Miami. Got the Marlins Stadium right over my right shoulder.
Oh, I see it. Okay, now I picked up on it.
A while away. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm back, man. I'm very happy to not feel cold anymore. Like I said, I hated that. Waking up and it's 40 degrees. Nah, man, I'm trying to wake up and it's 74. I'm going to wake up and be comfortable no matter what.
You're just lucky there wasn't any forest fires there. That's all. You're just lucky because half of California is burned down already. So
it's not that time of year yet.
Yeah, man, it's bad. All right. I appreciate you as always. Have a great weekend. We'll catch you next week, my friend.
Absolutely. See you Monday, y'all.
You got it, baby. Be good. Marcel Louis-Jacques, and by the way, Edge Energy Drink, the best energy drink out there. Delicious, smooth, delicious, smooth, delicious, smooth, zero aftertaste. We do have the link below. Oh, let me grab some. Grab some of that Edge Energy Drink. Right there. Grab it. There you go. Grab it. Let's go. And the Edge Energy Drink, too. We got the link below. Get it delivered to your home. And once you taste it, you're going to go, holy crap. Always right. It is delicious. It's smooth. Zero aftertaste. And by the way, it tastes great with vodka and rum. So many other things. Oh, man. You don't even taste the vodka when you mix it. It's so good. Really is so smooth. Edge Energy Drink, baby. MyEdgeDrink.com is the website. MyEdgeDrink.com. That is the website.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.